Hey guys, I'm this guy Spire,
And it's KillerKilp.
and welcome to our thoughts video on Nintendo at E3.
Yeah.
Cause that's Spotlight. That's Spotlight.
It was definitely crazy, that's for
A
sure.
little tiny bit crazy. So we got a bunch of games to talk about, including 2 games that weren't involved in the Spotlight, but we're first gonna go through the Spotlight and talk about our thoughts on all the games. Please join us in this little discussion about the Spotlight and Nintendo, because I kind of did some crazy crap.
It did. It's like probably one of the greatest directs / announcements, spotlights, whatever Nintendo's ever given us. So it's not lots of like spin-off crap games or indie games. They actually gave us mainstream sequels or more information on those or more into series. So it's pretty big.
Some shocking reveals, stuff that we actually wanted. So yeah. So we're gonna start off with the game that both him and I are probably the most into, the most excited for when it comes to Switch games. And I'll let you start this one.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It's coming out this winter-ish, because it says holidays, 2017. I am very excited because first off, this is the game that I think Xenoblade Chronicles X should have been. I guess it's good that they could fall back on, well, it's not a sequel since it's X, it's not 2. So they did focus a lot on like exploration in that game, and it was good exploration, but this story was one of the worst follow-up stories I've ever seen. So I feel
lack thereof.
Yeah, so I feel like this is the real successor to Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And while I was watching the new trailer for it, I just wanted to cry because I just held my heart and I'm like, this is beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was nothing but advancements unlike Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's actually advancing. We got more story in that 2-minute trailer than we had in all of Xenoblade Chronicles X.
That sounds incredibly accurate. Yeah.
It's so accurate because
I'm pretty sure X's trailers were just like fighting scenes with skeletons too.
And I mean,
so, yeah.
All of that one trailer is more than the whole Xenoblade Chronicles X game. The whole game. It's already more than that. So I'm already insanely happy because maybe that was their plan, was to let us down with a crappy game, in my opinion, just to build us back up, being like, oh, finally a good game.
Gosh.
But
yeah.
besides,
the nice thing is, it is a direct sequel, and it is going to have more of a focus on story. It's more of a story-driven adventure, so all these characters that you see here, they're characters that you will actually care about.
Exactly, they're characters that you will build yourself with, you'll build your party, you'll build bonds, like maybe more affinity missions, I'm guessing, all that kind of stuff. You're going to actually learn about them and care about them, unlike the other ones. Like, they had affinity missions in X, but they didn't really care about the characters that much. They're kind of just irrelevant, because it felt like, for me, I was just trying to rush through the game because I wanted the game to be done with, and that doesn't make for a good game.
So as for 2, there's as you can immediately tell from the battle system, it's so much more simpler than Chronicles and Chronicles X, where it's like overwhelming. I think that was the single worst part about both games, is that it's hard to get familiar with all of the battle systems and gem crafting and affinity and all that. It seems so much easier. You have 3 blades in the bottom left, which are basically your weapons, but your weapons are also characters. The characters fuel those weapons in a sense. And then on the bottom right side, there are your arts, and you only have 3 of them, and your 3 arts are different based on which blade you're using. And top left is just your character and health. It's so easy and simple.
Yeah.
Like, it's beautiful. And all the characters, too, if you want to go through the characters, they're just, like, so nice.
Yeah, we did kind of get a shock because we saw 6 characters already in our playable menu, but then we watched Nintendo Treehouse right afterwards, and we found out that there were actually only 3 party characters at the beginning of the game. Or, like, that's not surprising, but 3 party characters. And even though we were revealed 6, which means there's blades and there's drivers, which means the blades don't actually fight. They kind of, from the looks of it, it almost seems as if they stand there and like give energy to the weapon and give the weapons to the drivers to attack with. But it's like they're there physically, but they don't fight like that's what the drivers do. And
they don't turn into the weapons.
Right,
yeah.
right. It's not like Soul Eater or something. but it's and then there's like pairs for each one. So there's Rex, the main character, with Pyrrha, and they're like, let's go find Elysium. Nah, that's the whole thing about the thing.
Easy.
Yeah, Pyrrha's like hometown or not hometown, home planet or whatnot was Elysium, and it's like the safe haven for humans. And then they revealed the main party as of at least the beginning of the game, or throughout probably a majority of it. I don't know if they're gonna give us more, like that guy with the gray hair and the eye patch or whatnot.
Mask.
Yeah, the mask and all that kind of.
Are ye the Aegis?
Are ye the Aegis at Anchi?
I was taking a nice wee stroll across the road when I came across these young children.
Right.
I was like, what are you doing at this time of night?
Right, so for the most part, we can tell which characters we're not going to have in our party as of, like, Wolfman. He's probably not going to...
The girl with the...
Yeah, that girl.
With the captain's hat and stuff.
Yeah, the guy who, unless he's... I feel like the buff guy, like the super buff-looking guy that we saw, I feel like he either... is just a bad guy, or he's gonna be someone we fight and adds to our party or something like that. Because he feels
there is a guy with like this glowing blue sword. I'm not sure like which side he's on.
Yeah.
Because like it looks like he's a bad guy, but like he's also in like wallpapers, like running with the protagonists.
Right.
So he might be both.
It might be. So and then there's Nia, which is the that's the little like I call her a Faunus girl because the Fire Emblem in me calls her a Faunus, but she's like a little cat person almost.
Yeah, she has kitty ears.
Yeah, and she's got, and her blade is Dromix, which is already the most badass thing. It's freaking
So
huge
cool.
lion. I love it. Like,
and she doesn't walk around; she rides on Dromarch. It's so cool.
like I'll be honest. Every time I play the game in the overworld, I just want to be on. I want to be on that lion.
Yeah, it's
Quote
cool.
quote that, and take it as wrong as you want. I'm just kidding. And then there's Tora, which is our little Nopon friend. And then his blade is like probably the small purple-haired girl. We don't have a name for her, do we?
No, they never in the treehouse. They never used Tora, so we don't know her name.
So we don't know that either. Another thing which we kind of found out about is you aren't limited to just that character. You can like use these gems or crystals or something, and you can find, quote unquote, find more blades. Like we saw these one guy that had a big axe. They're all pretty general. They're all generic, kind of like monstrous creatures, and they all look pretty similar. Kareem. But they look. They have like different body types, but they are the same character kind of thing. They're like the basic AI almost. Like. They're not as special as the characters you'll get, but
so the characters we've gone through are pretty much the important ones.
Yeah, but then you can get like there's this one with an axe they showed in the treehouse. There's Kareem. He has a big ass gun, blows up everything.
Kareem is great.
But I don't know. I'm guessing the only reason to do that is probably there's strategical advantages based on what kind of weapon you have. Like Fire Emblem, there might be some kind of quote unquote weapon triangle. Not sure if there's like certain enemies that certain weapons are better on. That might be true.
And even in Chronicles X, they had to choose between a long range weapon, or they had both a long range and short range weapon at the same time. So something. It
could be something like the axe hits stronger but not as fast. It's probably like double-handed or something like that. The gun is long range. Probably doesn't. If it's the stronger the gun is, that's just kind of Xenoblade in general. Is the more damage the weapon does, usually the less it attacks, like the slower it attacks.
Yeah, the more cooldown.
Yeah.
The nice thing is that if people don't like anything about the game, it's probably the new art style. They think it like looks really pretty and all that, really like I guess cartoonish. I was thinking it looks nice because this is what 3D anime characters would look like.
Right.
And even in like all the 2D art, like the HUD and the art, everyone's an anime character. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. Rex, I don't like Rex's armor. He just looks weird.
Those pants!
He's just, he looks like he's a Shuffle Knight wannabe. But
yeah. Oh, he is like a cat in the back of it too.
Cat.
So
the cat's lit.
Yeah, the cat's awesome. The characters are nice, or the art style is nice. The world's beautiful. There's multiple titans, so the one that we explore, or that we've seen in the trailers and treehouse is this giraffe titan, but there are also industrial ones. they've made it clear that this is going to be a game which you're going to spend a lot of time with, and that's a big thing about the Switch, because they know that they're going to put a lot of big open world games they can spend hundreds of hours on the Switch.
Right.
Breath of the Wild, Xenoblade, Minecraft, freaking Skyrim. They're gonna put all of these onto the Switch, and like this one, like it already has people hyped up. And if you didn't like it before, well, Pyra's in the game. Just look at Pyra's outfit, you'll like it.
Yeah, and there's also that blonde character that we got revealed in the first one that we don't really know anything about.
Yeah.
But
we don't know if
she
she's good
she
or
has
bad
like
or
a
anything.
very similar outfit to Pyra, so I don't know if she has anything to do with her.
But if you like Pyra and you like her, woohoo!
Yeah, the game looks amazing. I hope it's gonna be spot on like its trailers make it look.
Oh, and I never told you, but the reason why this game was actually completed in such a short amount of time, and they're going to release it in 2017, they made it with the same engine as Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
So they already had it sorted out
right.
and stuff.
So they got it done really quickly, or are getting it / got it done really quickly.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah.
Definitely look into the game, listen to the music. It seems simpler than the other two games. If you have a Switch, then go get it.
That's
you'll
my
enjoy
problem. I don't have a Switch yet, but I'll definitely have one by this point. Probably just because this game. This is the one game that I like have to get. I really
definitely
want like few other games, but
good.
for this game I have to get.
Yeah. So next up, we're gonna talk. I'm gonna quickly gloss over the Kirby game for Switch. Right now, I just want to do a little "I told you so" dance to all these people who are like, they should make a Smash 5, they should make a Smash Switch. Sakurai's not working on that. Sakurai's working on Kirby.
Good.
Hey.
No more Smash.
Please.
No more. We're done.
There's a point where you milk it to the point of way too much.
Done. There's no point.
There
no
are
point. 2
perfect Smash games out there. Smash 4 or Melee. Play one of those 2. Or Smash Flash. They're already adding stuff to the... Anyways. Kirby for the Switch. What we see is... first off, Kirby games are usually on handhelds. Like, for the past... How long? Kirby platformers have been on handhelds.
Yeah.
But, in this trailer, we see Kirby, like, look at an enemy, and he would, like, throw this heart on the enemy, and then he would transform into Kirby's helper.
Yeah.
Tiny story here. Kirby's Return to Dreamland was in development for about 11 years. And they went through like 3 different ideas before they actually settled with Kirby's Return to Dreamland. And the first of those ideas is Kirby being able to get partners, up to 4 partners, which would be enemies, I guess, and they would all fight together. And the reason they didn't do it was because they had problem with programming 4-player on the GameCube or whatever. So now we're here in 2017, and they're doing that idea for real this time. They're actually giving us a multiplayer 4-player, and you can use that, and if you have friends, they can probably take control of the enemies that you transform. So it looks nice, it looks colorful, it's Kirby, nothing new, it's just good old fun.
I'm still waiting for them to one day make, you know, Kirby, Yoshi, any of those games that you can have easy, that have like local multiplayer. Make them online multiplayer.
Yeah.
Make it where you can play the game with other people online. And I'm not talking about mini games either. That's what they say whenever they say online multiplayer. I want to play through the game with someone online. I am sick of this. Like, I'll talk about that later when it comes to a different game.
Okay, yeah. But. So, next up, you got this.
Oh yes, I freaked out when it came to this. It was the Pokemon Core RPG title that they glossed over 2 seconds and then kind of acted like it didn't happen, and I kind of freaked out. And they said it may not release for a whole year. I think personally it's gonna be a Coliseum XD type of thing. They're not gonna make a 3rd one. It's been way too long. But it's gonna be a kind of thing like that. I really hope it's not like Stars, you know. I hope they don't do. If they made a remake on it, I would be insanely mad. I want them to do a completely different, like, I want them to do like XD Coliseum. It had nothing to do with the main stories, really. Like the main, it didn't feel like the main games, but it's a core RPG game, as in you catch Pokemon, you face trainers, you face gyms, you beat the Elite Four, that kind of stuff. I want that. I want that with the graphics of the Switch, which we've never had anywhere close to. And because Battle Revolution, which came out 2007, 2008,
something like
9 years ago, is the best Pokemon graphics we've ever had. Think about that now on the Switch. That would be
gorgeous.
Crazy. Like we will have, it could be, the overworld would be beautiful. You could have Pokemon roaming around it would be amazing. I want, and when I say core RPG, that means, unless I'm mistaken, that means like the Pokemon system. That means you're a trainer, you get a starter, you
not Mystery Dungeon,
not basically. Mystery Dungeon, not any of that stuff. Like that kind of, it should be a core. It's an RPG, core RPG. That kind of turn-based system. That's what I want. If we don't get that, I'm gonna be pissed. I don't care if it's gonna be more than a year. I'll wait forever. I just don't want it to be a dumb game. Like, I love Battle Revolution, but that's not what I want. I want Coliseum, I want XD, but I want it with a little bit more core, because Pokemon XD and Coliseum were even further away from core, because they didn't have starters, they didn't have gyms. I loved it. It had probably the best stories in Pokemon we've ever had, because it actually had stories.
It actually had,
Because it wasn't, they didn't, which is actually, no, I would be fine with that if they didn't do gyms and if they didn't do gyms and an Elite Four and traded it for kind of what they did with Coliseum and made it a story. I would love that, because like that's kind of something that does somewhat hold it back, is because they have this basic system of you get a starter, you catch Pokemon, you face gym, you beat Elite Four. They completely threw that out with Coliseum and XD. That's why I still love the games. And I hope they do something similar. I really hope they don't do like Shadow Pokemon again, because I liked it, but they don't need to do it for a third time. I want them to get a new
unless
concept.
they plan to make it a trilogy.
If they make it,
plan to actually make it a trilogy,
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, they can make it. They can make it right. They can make a big finale with what do you call it, Cypher? Yeah,
that'd be cool.
And the thing is, like, we don't have a lot of Pokemon games on consoles. Like, I always feel like the Pokemon main series games should be on handhelds. It's only right if the main generations are on handhelds.
I agree.
Yeah, but for spin-offs, spin-offs are people usually don't care about the spin-offs, because you got like Shuffle and Tetris. Yeah, you know.
Pokemon Balloon Race.
What people care about is XD and Coliseum and Battle Revolution.
Right. Snap.
So if they're gonna go with core RPG, then they're probably gonna make a. I don't even think they're gonna make a sequel to it, because I feel like they would at least hint at it. Then I feel like they're gonna make a completely new game that has something to do, that just has like standard Pokemon RPG elements.
Right.
One thing I want to say right now is that the Switch doesn't really feel like the next handheld gaming experience. It really doesn't. It just feels like a console that you're taking with you on the go. It doesn't feel like a handheld thing.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to be more focused on like battle trainers as soon as you see them on the other side of the sidewalk. I just want it to be a good game by itself.
Yeah, actually, the more I think about it, it would be kind of lame if they made it like the core system of gyms and like I want something fresh. Like Coliseum and XD were so fresh. Like it was, they were fresh because it wasn't battle every trainer you see. It was you had to explore some. You had to do certain directives and objectives before you could do the next thing. It was like a storytelling game, and I want that from another Switch Pokemon game. That'd be so cool.
And if Nintendo's and if they're continuing their thing with making big open world games on the Switch that you can spend forever on wherever you want, if we can have a world that big for an RPG Pokemon game, beautiful.
Awesome.
Beautiful. With only Gen 7 all the gens.
Oh,
all the gens.
All the gens would be awesome.
All the gens.
All of them.
But yeah, so we'll have to hear about that maybe, like, probably in the next Direct or something. We're not gonna get any news.
It might even be 3 or 4 months, honestly. It might be a while.
Probably.
It might be a while before we get anything.
Yeah. So, next up is the thing that made everyone freak out. This is the game that, like, YouTube freaked out about. Everyone freaked out about. I don't think one person did not shout at this game. It was like black, then it just showed 4. It just showed a 4 on the screen. Everyone is freaked out. Metroid Prime 4. It's like, whoa. The Metroid Prime games are the strongest Metroid games. Everyone loves them. These first-person shooter/adventure games. They're cool, they're fun, they have, like, silent storytelling, and, like, they're Samus and power-up, and love them. And Metroid Prime 3 ended on a cliffhanger, where it was basically Samus, or if you get the 100% ending, Samus leaves, she flies up in her ship, she goes away, and then Psylocke, this awesome hunter, flies up and follows her. And then we got Metroid Prime Federation Force, and there's a secret ending of that where Psylocke secretly comes in and steals a Metroid or something. Metroid Prime 4, Psylocke and Samus are gonna fight, and there's just gonna be more shooting. It's gonna be on the Switch. Woo!
Yeah!
And he has all the Metroid Prime games. It's just, like, one day I'll play them.
I will play them one day.
Yeah, getting hyped for Metroid Prime 4 probably.
Yep.
But, we don't even have a date for it yet, but all I'm saying is there's so much potential. We don't know a thing about it yet. I just think Psylocke is going to be relevant.
Psylocke.
That's it.
Yeah.
Psylocke. Yeah. So next up, it's your turn.
Woo! We got Yoshi. Yoshi 18, 2018 Switcheroony. And Sky simply wrote cute, :3.
Yeah, I just wrote cute.
I just want to establish how much of a weeb he is with :3. I'm kidding. But, no, it looks cute. They're straying away from the yarn element, and because it's Woolly World, it's Woolly World, it's Woolly World, it's Woolly World. It's Woolly World.
I didn't look at the trailer too much. Did it have like wool and yarn and stuff?
I'm pretty sure Yoshi was made of wool. I thought.
Let me double check while you're talking.
But I don't know. It feels like it feels like another Woolly World, but it's because everything's. But it's the same home craft stuff. It's not as much wool, but they're going to like everything's cardboard and paper. I like it. It looks. Yeah. It's nice. It feels like a Woolly World too, but it's not Woolly World. It's Yoshi. Woolly. It's construction paper world.
Yeah, okay, it's construction paper world. Yoshi doesn't look like he's made out of wool.
Okay.
It just looks like very like vibrant and cute.
Yeah,
and it's all construction
Yoshi
paper.
construction paper world.
And he can like shoot eggs. It's like a 2.5D game, not 2D, because you can like shoot enemies like who are on the left and right of the
Oh
path.
yeah, and you go like, don't you go between you go between areas. You go on one side of the paper and the other side. That's so cool. I like that idea.
You can like ground pound and do that. Yeah.
And
it's cool.
I got major nostalgia flashbacks because I'm pretty sure they use the exact same voice like sound for the like charging up to like aiming and where to use the eggs as they did in the first Yoshi's Island, and it hit me like a truck. And that's just that every time I hear that, it brings me back to when I used to play the original Yoshi's Island. But it also feels like a Yoshi's Island game. It feels more like it looks more like Yoshi's Island than it did Woolly World, which I actually still haven't played.
Yeah.
And
just like Kirby, I don't think they should ever change Yoshi. They just keep him as like a 2D game, but they're like slightly changing him. Like you can aim to the like forward and backward of it a little bit, and then you can ground pound and go to the other side of the paper. Like it's so cool.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah. Woolly World didn't change it a bunch. It just added like gimmicks where Yoshi could use his tongue to like unravel wool and stuff. Right. But it was a cutesy game, and this is too. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know if I'll necessarily get it, just because I have like 50 games backed up like that I want to play. Like I still have Yoshi's Woolly World that I still haven't even opened, because I want to let's play co-op with that. Co-op that game with someone eventually. I'm a loner. So. But yeah, so that's that.
That's that. Next up, we got freaking. Oh my god. Fire Emblem Warriors.
So excited.
Corrin! So Fire Emblem Warriors is coming in fall of 2017, so very soon.
Xander.
And we have two main characters who are like a sort of brother and sister whose mother or something happened to them, and they need to retake stuff. So it's an original story. It's not an original. No, I'm kidding.
It's not.
Rowan and Liana are their names, but they also team up with heroes from other dimensions, which is original. It's not original.
Hey.
Sorry. So there's Marth, and just good old Marth. There's Ryoma. There's Xander, who actually fights on his horse.
Xander.
Cool. Xander. And then you got 2 characters. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. Corrin! They just showed like Corrin like just like walking towards the camera, like doing this pose, like her arms are outstretched up, like they don't have male Robin, they don't have female Robin, they don't have male Corrin, but they have my waifu in there.
Oh yeah, so they put our.
They have his husbando in there.
They have our 2 favorite, or my favorite Fire Emblem character and his favorite Fire Emblem character in the game. So that's super hype. And it has like my 3rd favorite as well. So I'm like, Xander's more like.
Xander? Well, who's your second? Oh,
that's my second husbando.
His second husbando. So freaking. Why Lucina's gonna be in this game?
Oh, she better. Then I'd have my 3 favorites. That'd be so good.
Corrin, I swear, just knowing that only the female version of Corrin is in the game, that's making me think like, okay, this is where Fire Emblem doesn't become a strategy RPG anymore, and when it becomes more about the characters themselves. Because back in like the GBA games, it wasn't about the characters, like, each individual character and their story. Well, Garcia lost his son, and now he's just
Garcia.
He's just sad now.
I lost my son.
Starting from Awakening, it was like they did bring every single character their own original character traits and their own tiny story that made each of them interesting. I don't know how Fire Emblem does that. How does Fire Emblem make so many characters and they don't talk about each one that much, but they make them all so likable and cool, you know?
I mean, yeah, and it's people just are drawn to some character. It's like there's every character gets some love by some person, whether based off of their class, their personality, their voice, how they look. Like, Gaius is one of the most irrelevant Awakening characters, but everyone loves him. He has no story relevancy. He's just a thief, and that's his only story relevancy is you meet him as a thief. But everyone loves him because of his, like, the way he looks, his class. Like, there's so many characters that seem irrelevant, but the audience loves, and obviously all the main characters, but, like, every character in just about every game gets some kind of love from the audience, because there's so much. It's
crazy, because take Gaius, like, in Awakening, the only characters who actually matter to the story are Chrom, Robin, Lucina. That's it. And, like, Frederick appeared, like, once or twice.
Lisa.
Like, was Lisa relevant to the story? She got attacked and then Lucina saved her. Like, it's stuff like that. That's Lisa's thing. She's weak, but she's a healer, and then she can turn into a monster if you use her enough.
And it's the bad guys. And then...
Yeah, that's it. But and Validar, the one villain. I don't know. But, like, it's like, they don't... Fire Emblem doesn't, like, give a lot of exposition to characters besides the main character. Same thing with Fates and, like, outside of the Crown family.
I think something that's just genius about Fire Emblem is you almost create the story based off of who you pick in your team, because they create their characters of like their friendships and their stories based off of how you play the game and who you put in the game. So there can be characters that are completely irrelevant to one person, but they're a different person's team, and they are insanely irrelevant to their story for that person. And it's awesome how every character can be very relevant to one person or another.
Like, I'll give my quick example. What's his name? Shura from Fates. It's just little things like this one moment where he was at 1 HP and he was going to lose the chapter, and he got a surprise crit that won me the chapter, combined with his voice and his hair. That alone makes me love him. But in any other game, you wouldn't love a character just because of that. Like, it'd be a moment, but Fire Emblem is genius in that regard.
Yeah, because it gives you the chance to keep seeing them. If you want to keep seeing them, you keep doing it.
The GBA games didn't give you that kind of freedom, which is why I am more partial. I like both versions, but I am more partial to the 3DS games, because they give you that sense of freedom, these characters that somehow manage to be incredibly interesting that you like, and that's why Fire Emblem Warriors, going back to that, why it's such a well done idea, because they're taking the characters which the people know that we like, that we know that we've built stories for. And I feel like that's already a huge reason of why Awakening and Fates is going to get the most support. Because these are the games that actually have characters that we care about. I'm not saying people don't care about, like, Roy's game and, like, 7-8 and those games, but, like, you have to understand that not only are most of the fandom currently fans of Awakening and Fates, but these are the games which have the characters that we like. So, Corrin, Chrom, Xander, Ryoma, in-game, these are relevant characters we like, not to mention they don't have the same fighting style, no way, so it works. Yeah. It works so well. That's the magic of Fire Emblem.
Yeah, like one of my favorite characters, I actually forgot his name while thinking about it. What the hell's his name?
Awakening or Fates?
Fates, technically both, but it's...
Odin or Laszlo?
Laszlo. Laszlo is one of my favorite characters in the series, but he's not very relevant. He's just a retainer. That's all he is. He's a retainer to Xander. But he's always on my team whenever I play the game, and he's one of my favorite characters just because the way he talks, the way he acts. Not even he's not that great of a fighter, but the way his voice and the way he acts, he's always on my team just for that. Like, he's insanely relevant to me. And I love that about just the Fire Emblem games.
Yeah, it's great. So, and that's what they're gonna bring in to Warriors, because you'll just have the characters in your team that you like. Because in Warriors, it doesn't matter about like which ones are good, which ones are bad. You can level them up to 595,000. So, yeah. So going off of that, also there's a Tiki amiibo, which means Tiki might be in the game. Who knows? Anyways,
Dragon.
Next up. What? So, next up, they talked about the Breath of the Wild DLC. I've sunk about 150 hours into Breath of the Wild. Fantastic game. He has it, and that's another game he'll have to play one day.
Yeah.
That's one game I'm surprised you haven't played yet, just because it's Breath of the Wild.
Oh my gosh, I'm so bogged down with life.
I know, it got straight 10 out of 10s, that's all I'm saying. Breath of the Wild's game DLC,
That's not
one
Falco.
Thing is the What?
It's not Falco. It's Falco.
It's not Falco. It is Falco.
It's Falco. It's not. It's Falco. No, that ain't Falco. It's
Falco.
It's Falco. It ain't Falco.
It is. It really is Falco.
Look at it.
He's
guys. Go. I know everyone. Noticed it. So it's not like I'm like some revolutionary scientist or something. But look at the Falcon. He's Falco. He has the same face. He's the same beak. He has the same face paint. It's Falco.
And his personality.
Falco.
His personality is also Falco.
Falco.
He's also as cocky as Falco.
It ain't
so,
Falco, but it's Falco. It ain't, but it is.
It ain't Falco, but it is.
But
So Breath of the Wild has the Trial of the Sword, which means you'll be starting off naked with no items, and you're gonna have to fight through 45 waves of enemies. If you do that, then your Master Sword will be fully charged up for the whole game. In-game, your Master Sword will only be charged up and do double damage when you're in Hyrule Castle, I think, or when you're fighting bosses. I'm pretty sure it's the former. So this way, it'll always be charged up. You'll have a what's it called? A sort of medallion that lets you like warp, like set down a teleport spot, go on the other half of the world, and then you can teleport back there, which is cool. There's the Hero's Path, which tracks your movement from the past 200 hours. I already got everything in the game, so don't care. And there's hard mode, where there's like enemies will like regenerate health, and you can also like look at the sky and you'll see enemies in the sky. So it's like, whoa. I think I've worn out Breath of the Wild by this point, so I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is the second batch of DLC. This batch of DLC is June 30th, but the second batch of DLC will come out when holiday 2017, so winter. Everything's coming winter. This Christmas is gonna be good. Ooh, we got Odyssey, we got Xenoblade. Ooh. Ooh. So, the Champion's Ballad is going to give a new dungeon and, more importantly, a new story. The one thing Breath of the Wild doesn't do right is it doesn't have a story. It's kind of like Xenoblade Chronicles X, where it's all about the exploration and they forget that story's a thing. That doesn't matter, honestly, because it's still a 10 out of 10 game. Like, it's amazing. It's just that it doesn't have a lot of story. This is their chance to make this game an 11 out of 10. So, something to do with the Champions. Alright, with that out of the way, this is your one.
Alright, I said I was going to bring back to this whenever I was talking about the online multiplayer later. Because that's really all I need to talk about this game. I'm not getting it. It's Rocket League. I have it on my computer. I put hundreds and hundreds of hours into it, so there's no way I'm starting over on Switch. The only way I would get it is if everyone I knew had it, and it's less than $20, because if it's more than that, then it's a rip-off.
Oh yeah.
But what I wanted to talk about when it came to online is I love the people who made Rocket League for one reason. They know they're the only people on Earth that know how to do cross-platform multiplayer. Like, why is no one else thinking of this? It's so like there's Overwatch, like every game that you see.
Wait, I didn't even know it had.
It does. You can play with PlayStation people, and you can play with PlayStation people, and you can play with like it's awesome. Like, why do more people not take advantage? Like, when it comes to console to console, I get that, but when it comes to Xbox or PS4 or whatever to PC, and it's the same game, you should be able to play on the same network. That's a thing that should happen on just about any game. It pisses me off that I can't play Overwatch or lots of games that I would play with friends because they have Xboxes and I have a computer. Rocket League knows how to do that. That's about it. That's really not...
Yeah.
But when it comes to online playability, that just shows that Nintendo, you easily could make it where if I had Kirby and Sky had Kirby, we could play the story together. It's not hard.
That's even easier.
It's so easy.
You can have Smash, and Smash has good connection online now. And Smash is so much more complicated than a platformer.
Like, all you have to just...
Smash is so much more intricated. Yeah, you just need to connect them. It's not even cross-platform.
All you have to do is just have a play online button, click it, join a room, click the story, go, play the story together.
Exact same thing as local, except you can actually do it because we don't have friends near us.
And that's the thing with that, you could play almost any single game that has more than one character together. You could play Xenoblade Chronicles 2 together if you wanted. Like, you could play just about any game there is with multiplayer online if they just took the time to do that. And that's really all I really want to bring up with Rocket League, is just because I love their company just because they know how to do cross-platforming. That's such a huge thing that I think everything should be, like, when it comes to Xbox and PC, everything should be able to do, alongside Nintendo should be able to do online multiplayer stories, because it's not hard.
I believe they're able to.
They are able to.
They're able to, it's just that there's stuff like... Okay, for one, I feel like, first off, I didn't even know that it had cross-platform until just now. But, I feel like the Switch, and this is coming from me, not from, like, what I think Nintendo's gonna say.
Right.
I feel like the Switch is, like, so different from any other thing that we've ever seen so far. Any form of gaming, any form of media. I feel like the Switch is so different that it would be so much more difficult to cross-platform that.
No, I'm not saying cross-platform with Nintendo. I was bringing that to PC.
I know, that's Rocket League's thing.
Right.
But, like,
whenever I was bringing up cross-platform, I was just saying anything that's PC and Xbox, since they're both ran by Microsoft, should 100% be able to do cross-platform. And since they can do it with PS4, I'm not saying they should do it with Nintendo, because Nintendo's never going to do that, but I just want to bring that up in the fact that Nintendo can easily and should easily make it where you do co-op online.
And, I didn't even think about, like, online multiplayer platforming that much, but that would be revolutionary, because consider the fact that, like, all the trailers for Switch show people getting out of the house, putting the Switch in this little case, meeting up with their 15 friends at the park, and playing 4-player. Like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, what if you don't have those friends?
That just does not happen!
What if your friends live 4 hours away, and you want to play this game with them?
What if they live 4 hours away? Hey, Kilp, what if they live 4 hours away?
Yeah, what if they did? Yeah, I might get to see that person lives 4 hours away sometimes, but not enough to make it where the time that we spend together is worth spending on a platform. Sure, we would love to play those games, but not in the little amount of time that we're together. Like,
and not when Nintendo does have the possibility to make an online multiplayer platformer, which you don't see, but that's not a reason for them to not do it.
Yeah, and they should do it just almost any game. Like, they could do it with so many games that had just two, like anytime there's a computer player, or anytime that just any story that has a possibility of having multiple players, they could do that. I don't know why. And
usually they limit it for, like, marketing reasons. Like, I don't want to, I want this to not be available so people can buy more of this. You know what I mean?
Right. But it's like,
now that doesn't go into effect because you still have to buy the game. You still need to buy the Switch.
More people would buy it if they had online capability of that kind of stuff. I think
because then I wouldn't be able to play. Like that's you with Woolly World. Like say for example, if you didn't buy the game, right? You wouldn't have bought the game if you didn't have anyone to play with, right?
No, yeah.
So exact same thing.
If it had online multiplayer, I feel like we would have probably Let's Played it by this point.
Oh, we would have. Yeah, definitely.
Like we would have Let's Played probably the day it came out because it had that. We would have had that opportunity.
And this is like this probably is a whole nother discussion, but that is a big thing, and this isn't a bad time to start.
Yeah,
it's not. All right, so
talked about Rocket League, the Rocket League section a lot longer than I thought we would.
Yeah, I was saying like this is just a random. But yeah, are there any other third-party games that you want, like any Steam games?
I mean. I want them to have just access to Steam games. I know it's not because that's the thing about they want Steam. It's like almost their games, quote unquote. They want it to be exclusive to themselves. I guess if they, I don't think they ever would, but I think it would be really cool if Nintendo's
a Steam app.
Yeah, that would be so cool. Because there's so many indie games, multiplayer indie games, that if you could take them on the go, they would sell so many copies.
Yeah, definitely.
I would buy so many games.
But instead, it's all going on the eShop.
Right.
Like, you have to head on there.
And there's not even that many.
On the go is the big thing. This is what the on the go is for. Not for Splatoon 2 and meeting your 15 friends at the park. Right. No, it's for, like, these games.
And let's be honest, Nintendo doesn't make good indie games. Steam makes amazing indie games. Or not.
Yeah.
Steam doesn't technically make the games, they just produce them. But Steam gets the good
Steam
indie
has
games.
Good indie
like,
games.
good multiplayer quick games. All of the good ones that you see, like YouTubers do, they're all on Steam. And Steam's the #1, like, indie game, just game in general producer. Like, they, by far. So, if Nintendo did somehow partner with them, I don't think they ever would. But if they did, I would buy so many games.
I feel like they're not going to just because, they've already made a big deal of, like, we're partnering with, like, 63 other game developers.
Right.
None of those were, like, all of those were, like, other, like, indie game developers. Or bringing Xbox 360, PS3 games to the Switch. That's what they were talking about.
I know they're not going to, and it would be way too convoluted and confusing. But it would...
Too good to be true?
Yeah, it's way, way, way too good to be true. Because there's tons of games that there's no chance could ever go to the Switch. Like, I have certain games on Steam that could never be on the Switch.
And I feel like some, like, take Overwatch for example, while that does sound like a good idea, I just don't think it would work, because, like, for the on-the-go aspect, no, it wouldn't. You need online.
Right.
But even for playing it at home, it's like, by that point, would Blizzard allow that? Would Blizzard just say, like, we already have it on three methods of play, let's have it on the Switch?
I don't think Blizzard ever would.
And even people who've already played it on one of the three, they're gonna have to make a new account because cross-platform doesn't exist.
Exactly.
For Overwatch, so okay, so moving on. This is the last game that they revealed on the Nintendo Spotlight, and this was the main center of the show. They have people being able to play it down at E3, and it is Super Mario Odyssey. This is the game which they hyped up this year. Last year they hyped up Breath of the Wild. This year they're hyping up Odyssey. It looks good. It looks so good.
It does look good.
So in a similar vein to Super Mario Galaxy, not Sunshine or 64. It's not like you're set in an area and then you can go wherever you want, because there is like a start, and then there's a checkpoint, and then there are ends that you can.
So it's more like 3D World.
Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is like Galaxy, because Galaxy you start off in the same place, and there are checkpoints, and then there are ends, plural.
Right.
Unlike 64 or Sunshine, where you're like dropped in a world and
Sunshine
go
was
crazy.
Great.
Sunshine was amazing.
Say that. Sunshine was awesome.
Sunshine was fantastic. Versus Race though.
Good ideas.
Teaser?
I would be so bad. I would lose so good. I'm awful. I'll tell you guys. I'm awful at like older 3D platformers. Like 64, I'm one of the worst people ever. I have it. I played a lot. I'm awful at it.
So Odyssey is you collect moons, which I don't know the plot of the game, but it showed Mario like going around these worlds and there would be like a moon at the end, like a tiny moon, like the size of his body, and you collect it. Like, you got a moon! And it shows like the place you got it and the date you got it. I'm like, okay. Don't know what the plot of this game is. This hat that you have on your head is named Cappy. It's original, right?
It's super. He's a cat.
It's Cappy.
He,
oh, the gameplay gimmick of the game. Being able to take control of enemies.
that's so cool.
That's a good gimmick. That's a really good
cool gimmick.
Yeah, because like the other games, because they usually keep the same gimmick. Like, oh, Mario has a cat, Mario has a tanuki tail, and other enemies have a tanuki tail. Mario has a cat tail, and everyone else has cat tails.
Right.
Mario's a frog, Mario's a spring,
Right.
Mario in space. Mario able to take control of enemies, and like
And you
he
can do
puts the
so
cap
cool
on.
things, like there's Goombas, you can make Goombas stack on top of each other. There's so
You can take control of a bullet bill and fly it wherever you want for a short amount of time.
cool.
It's wild. So with that, and Bowser, Dapper Pimp Bowser?
Bowser?
Pimp Bowser.
You know,
Pimp Bowser
wedding.
has a hat too.
Yeah, he's lit.
Pimp Bowser has a hat too.
He does. He has a little. He has Hattie. It's not Cappy. It's Hattie.
Hattie. Top Hattie.
Top Hattie.
Top Hattie. So I guess actually the plot of the game is that Bowser and Peach want to marry, and they hired this evil gang of wedding planners to make sure it goes well. Which are these are the Brutals, which you might remember them as these the White Bunny guys.
The Koopalings V2.
The Koopalings V2. They're they basically are. The Brutals are. I like them. I like their design. Like, cause like, are you looking at that picture?
Yeah.
Like, we got Leprechaun Man in the middle. We got like
Leprechaun Man.
Morton on the left.
Right.
We have. I have no idea what the Farmer Brutal.
Yo, that guy is the MVP.
Farmer Brutal.
100%. Not.
And then you have.
Not even
oh my god! And then Girly Brutal. I love Morton Brutal. I love that guy.
Yeah.
Look at the hair.
Farmer, that's my boy.
Yeah, the hair, bro.
Oof.
It's good. Looking for the wedding ring. Too bad the boss has it now.
Yeah,
He has
he
a
does.
wedding ring. Wait, okay, so they're saying wedding ring like it's an item. So are the items actually like the wedding dress, the wedding ring,
That would be
the
kinda,
bouquet?
That'd be a little cheesy.
But think about it, you're recovering the items
Yeah.
so that Bowser can't continue the wedding ceremony because he
Right.
doesn't have the items because Mario's taking
my.
them.
That's evil, Mario. I can't believe you're stopping a wedding like that. It's true love.
Okay, here's the bouquet. What? And then you like see Mario like jump in with the background. I got it, the princess.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh my.
That's gotta be it. That's gotta be it.
It's just.
But Mario being able to take control of everything, that's a really cool gimmick. They're gonna use it in clever ways. He can take control of like the actual humans, like the human-shaped, human-looking humans.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
It's kind of crazy.
The other thing I want to say is that the mayor is Pauline. Pauline was the original damsel in distress before Princess Peach.
Mhm.
So she returns, and she's the mayor of New Dong City.
That was a big mistake. I'm sorry.
Dong City?
New Dong City. Like.
Well, New Donk.
Oh, I thought it was New Dong. I always.
You made a mistake, Nintendo.
Like you made even New Donk, like Donkey Kong.
Oh yeah.
Like
Like in the treehouse, when they say it fast, it really sounds like New Dong City. Like they're like, so another thing about New Dong City. I'm like, oh, this is a good game. This is a good game.
it's bad.
They said that there was like a reason for why they named it New Donk City, but you'll have to find that out by playing the game. And there's a secret behind it. It's not just a stupid name. Okay.
Like they do with every single Nintendo game.
New Donk City. Like, oh god, it's Donkey Kong. They didn't show Donkey
Oh,
Kong.
there's gonna be Donkey Kong.
It's gotta be something about Donkey Kong. We already know the dongs in this game. It's gonna be something
Oh
about Donkey
my.
Kong. There's like girders and everything. Donkey Kong's gotta be in this game somehow.
Has to.
Alright, so that is everything that they revealed in the Treehouse, but there were two 3DS games that they talked about outside of the Spotlight, because the Spotlight was for Directs. It was for Switch games.
Yeah.
The first game is Metroid Samus Returns, which is coming September 15th, which is, what, 3 months? That's amazing. Exactly 3 months. This game looks like a remake of Metroid 2. If you guys know AM2R, which stands for Another Metroid 2 Remake, was a fan game. It was a fan game which was a remake of Metroid 2 with better graphics, with better gameplay, and it was a really good game since Metroid 2 is one of the most obscure Metroid games out there. So these guys remade it in really good looking stuff, and I have it too. It's just that Nintendo constantly took it down. They're trying to erase all traces of it. They're trying to take down the game, make sure no one has it. AM2R, get rid of it. Now we know why. It's them trying to make sure other people don't infringe on their property or whatever. But like, they're making Metroid 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's in like there's like 3D models, not sprites, and Samus, like, they showed this in the trailer and the treehouse. She has like this punching move, like she does this like uppercut, like I don't know. So it looks cool. There's nothing much to say, but it like explains a lot.
Oh, so you missed a game.
I missed a game.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Mario and Rabbids.
Oh my! Well, I didn't put that on here for a reason.
Why not?
Okay, talk about Mario and Rabbids.
All right, the Rabbids are hilarious, guys.
Would you care about Rabbids?
I do. I played all the Rabbids games.
I didn't know that. Go
Rabbids are great. I might not get the game, but it's like it looks like almost like a tower defense like strategy. It's hilarious. I love it. It's Mario versus the Rabbids. The Rabbids are the funniest things ever. I'm not saying I'm gonna get it. I'm not saying you should get it. But it's Rabbids. It's awesome. I love the Rabbids. That's all.
This sounds like a childhood thing. No, I'll have a childhood.
But it's funny. They're funny. They're hilarious. They're gimmicky.
Ah!
They're spontaneous. Yeah. They're crazy. They're funny.
They are spontaneous. Yeah. So, Rabbids.
I always played them.
It's interesting because
they were like really funny, and they had all these mini games.
It's interesting because Nintendo doesn't do crossovers that much. There's like the Mario and Sonic at the 2016 Winter Sochi Olympic Games with Knuckles,
right?
But, and Knuckles on Wii U plus.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is, they don't do crossovers that much. If anything, it's with Sega and Smash. But they don't do that much, so it's like they're doing it with Rabbids. So it's like,
let's go.
I don't think they're gonna do a Rabbids game ever again after this, but it's interesting. This is like a one-time. I really feel like this is a one-time thing. Like, I don't want people to hold their hopes up for another Rabbids game. It's like, Mario and Rabbids. Mario has a gun. Mario's a gun, guys. So the last game that I want to talk about was Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions. It looks like freaking gold! I'll say I'm biased to the Mario & Luigi series, but I don't think it's like for no reason, because I strongly believe that the Mario & Luigi series are the best Mario games. They're the strongest, they're an RPG, but they have all the Mario elements, they have actual plot. They're really fun. You can spend hours into them. I did not spend 300 hours in Bowser's Inside Story. Me, no. They're amazing games. There's so much to do in them. There's funny characters, like they'd see in RPGs or bosses. Superstar Saga was the first, and it had like these bro attacks, so like it was mostly about Mario and Luigi, not about like a wacky cast character. It was Mario and Luigi. Bowser, and Bowser's not just a bad guy, because the best character in these games is Bowser, because Bowser's a good guy and also kind of a bad guy. It's Superstar Saga.
It's Dedede.
It's like Dedede.
Yeah.
Bowser's great. And they remade this with the visuals of Mario & Luigi Dream Team and Paper Jam. And it looks beautiful! Like, they at the treehouse, they showed this boss battle with, like, Kuhuros or whatever, and it was remade in 3D. It was the same thing. I don't think they're gonna change any scripts. The only thing they're changing is that, like, in the original game, you could only, like, when you press jump, you can only jump once, and I can jump twice, like in the recent games, and it's in 3D, and you can also choose between, like, the spin attack and all the different combinations on the bottom screen. It's a cool game. There's also a side mode called Bowser's Minions, and it's like Plants vs. Zombies, and... What? Bowser's babies. I'll put the moment up here so people understand what we mean by Bowser babies.
Oh, yay!
Yes, very good. Now all I need to know are my babies. Babies. Oh, he said baddies. Oh my gosh, I completely read that wrong.
Alright, so, I think that's it. Superstar Saga, it's nothing new, it's just a beautiful remaster, and Nintendo does not do remasters! So, it's beautiful. And, I believe as for now, like, I don't think Nintendo's, doing anything, anything else for E3. People hope that today they're going to show like Mother 3, and I'd love that, but no.
Yeah.
Nintendo's not that good, guys.
Speaking of that, question time. If you could have one new game revealed, any game, what would it be?
What would it be? What game do you want next from Nintendo?
I'm also,
What game
I'm also
do you
asking you.
want? Me?
Yeah. What do you want?
What game do I want? What game do I want? What game do I want? I want Okami. I want Okami for Switch.
I'll be honest, I want Luigi Mansion 3.
Oh my god, why didn't I think of that? I completely forgot about Luigi's
I want
Mansion, 'cause
Luigi's
those
Mansion really bad.
Dude, Dark Moon was like
Wasn't
one of the
Dark
greatest
Moon
3DS games.
2012?
13, yeah.
I want it in 4 years. Give us another.
Or Kid Icarus! Give us Kid Icarus! Scratch that Okami thing, because Okami wouldn't work with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Kid Icarus!
I want
Or Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's Mansion. Because you could do like the
'cause
Luigi's
Luigi's Mansion Dark
Mansion
Moon
regular,
was like,
and then you could do the Joy-Cons on multiplayer. You could do like multiplayer minigames.
dude, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon was one of the greatest 3DS games.
It was so good. I loved it. I played it really late. Like I played it like 2015, but I loved it. I loved it so much.
Good game. So, yeah, I didn't think of that. Okay, so we want Kid Icarus Downfall. Kid Icarus Downfall and Luigi's Mansion 3 Electric Boogaloo.
Yes.
Alright, what do you guys want? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure as always to like, comment, and subscribe for more on all other things Nintendo. I'm the Sky Spy.
And I'm the KillerKilp.
And until then!